Here the party, have a real good time. That's right. What's up, Jerome's? Happy Monday, happy Victory Monday out there to those who celebrate. Not everyone does, but so much winning. Tired of all the winning. Oh, a lot of people point out that we forgot to add Will Reichard to the winners list from our winners and losers video, which is fair. I mean, I feel like you just take him for granted at a certain point. Oh, 52-yarder in the rain, right down the middle. Yawn. What have you done for us lately? Nah, but Will the Thrill is how about Will Reichard is a perma winner on the list? Should be. So, Vikings obviously won out in the Emerald City, but some other stuff and some things happened around the league. So recapping Week 16 real quick before Monday night. So Thursday night got the Broncos Chargers. And it was actually kind of a good game, right? So Justin Herbert right now is playing out of his gourd. Which is fantastic. Gus Edwards, Gus Bus, a couple touchdowns as well. And frankly, I feel like the Broncos and stupid-ass Sean Payton and Bo Nix, I feel like their offense has kind of gotten exposed. And Nix literally does not throw more than 5 yards downfield. Like, he is a yards after catch merchant, and it's ridiculous. What was it? Like, Nix had like 80% of his yards, passing yardage as run after catch. Happen. So I understand the hype. I understand people just want to be on what's new, but I still stand by the pre-draft assessment that a lot of people had. You know, Nix is going to be fine. Like, all of this premature, he's Drew Brees hype. Nah. Saturday games for whatever. Oh, yeah. Well, they did the Saturday games because they started doing this time of year. Also, they had to reshuffle things so they could play on Christmas Day, which is on Wednesday, which is the worst possible day if you want NFL games. But they wanted to make it a week where basically it's like playing on Sunday to Thursday. So these four teams are just reshuffling and playing Netflix on Wednesday. By the way, did you see that Netflix has like 40 different analysts for these two games? It's kind of ridiculous. But Texans, prayers up for Tank Dell, man. Like, that was absolutely horrific, and hopefully he can continue his career. And yeah, did not look good. But also, you know who didn't look good? The Chiefs. For being 14-1, they're not really getting it done. And I'm not trying to say that the refs just drag the Chiefs along as like the memes go, but even the most objective fan or even Chiefs fans just have to admit at a certain point it gets kind of ridiculous. And it's not that every single call they get every single call. They get the calls that are high leverage spots and change the game. So it's rough. But the Texans, I don't know what's happened, man. Like, CJ Stroud, honestly, you could call it the sophomore slump. You could say that Brian Flores broke him like week 3. It's not been great. Also, the late game. So the Steelers and the Ravens, bad blood in this rivalry, and the Ravens get back into the Derby, squaring things up in the head-to-head. And Lamar, absolute stud. 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry reestablished himself for $162 on the ground after a sort of whatever game against the Giants. Marlon Humphrey with the pick 6, which apparently Justin Jefferson can't do his gritty anymore because that's taunting if he glances in the area of a defender. But Marlon Humphrey can literally stick the football on a pick 6 in the face of a Steelers offensive player. Not taunting. That's what happens. Russ, and respect to Russell Wilson, like, Russ has been good throughout most of the season. He was not good in this game. It was just really bad all the way around. Speaking of bad all the way around, the Giants, right? Brian Daboll, his ass is going to get fired. Joe Shane definitely deserves to be tossed out as well. And hey, remember when Drew Lock was pissing and moaning when Daniel Jones got benched and DeVito, the Italian, they were going to start him just for marketing purposes? And then Drew Lock is like, I should be starting. Through 2 pick 6s. If you're playing against the Falcons defense in fantasy, you probably didn't have a good day. But Baron also had 2 touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr. Looked very solid in his debut. The interception was obviously just Kyle Pitts being a Dumas again. Can you think of a recent high draft pick that has been as disappointing as Kyle Pitts? He's just been inert. But you know what's going to happen. He's going to go to the Chiefs, and all of a sudden he'll just be like the rebirth of Travis Kelce. It's gonna happen. So the Falcons, they definitely keep their playoff hopes alive. They can actually clinch next week if Tampa loses the division. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah, because Tampa definitely did them some favors by losing to the Cowboys on Sunday night. But the Giants, just they're come back it in. Let me begin. They're done. They're absolutely done. They're in the tank. They want the 1 pick. Whether it's Shedeur or Cam Ward, TBD. Yeah. Lions and the Bears. Hey, where are the Bears? Oh, look at Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams has been putting up really good stats last couple games, except they've still lost 9 in a row. Yeah. And hey, this whole mirage of this close game on Thursday against the on Thanksgiving Thursday against the Lions, that went away. And Detroit, they put the bang thing on Chicago. And Jared Goff 3 touchdowns. Gibbs, a great all-around day. Sonic looking good without Knuckles. Jameson Williams caught a deep touchdown. And it was. Everyone's making the whole thing like, well, this is Ben Johnson just showing off for the Bears, so he gets the head coaching job. The Bears would sell their left nut for Ben Johnson right now. And I can't remember a coordinator getting so much hype over the last two years. I kind of hope that he flops as a head coach, just so that everyone was wrong. I mean, it's ridiculous. He designed a play where the quarterback fake falls down. Honestly, I don't even think the Lions want to win the Super Bowl. I think that they just want to do Lulu plays and then throw to their tackles. That's it. The Bengals took care of the Browns. Battle of Ohio, jumping Joe Burrow. Well, I'm not going to complain about it because I got T. Higgins on my fantasy team, but he was clearly down on that whole Superman touchdown. Please. But Jamar catching the dagger at the end as well, 6 for 97 and a touchdown. Burrow with his standard 3 touchdowns, and Cincinnati. I mean, they're still in. Like they do have a path to the playoffs, and they just got to win out. Need a little bit of help, so go from there. I will say that I don't think that any team in the AFC wants to see the Bengals in. And they're going to be a tough out. Then you got the Titans and the Colts. It was actually a pretty exciting barn burner of a game. And Mason Rudolph pitching a couple garbage time touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor Thomas 3 touchdowns. He made sure that he crossed the end line this time. Also 218 on the ground, which is kind of awesome. Anthony Richardson also ran in a touchdown. And the Colts, I don't want to say that the Colts are a good team, but they're interesting. Yeah, we'll definitely just go with interesting. And right now, they looking at the AFC. Yeah, so you do have for 2 playoff spots. You got the Colts, Broncos, Chargers, and Dolphins all still alive. Bengals in there as well. So 5 teams for 2 spots. See what happens. Then you got the Rams and the Jets. The Rams and the Jets. Kyren Williams has quietly been one of the most consistent forces at running back. It's been great. Devontae Adams got his 1 touchdown, which too little too late. Aaron Rodgers did not look good yet again, 28-42. But the Rams, the Rams are going to be tough in the NFC, and they're a lot like the Bengals for the AFCs. Like, you do not want to see them in. And right now, the NFC is basically kind of set. So the Lions, the Vikings, and Eagles have secured their spots. Packers can still lose out, and they can miss. Come on, Saints, one time. Stupid ass, dirty ass Saints. We'll go with that. But it is still a race in the NFC South. Although, like we said, the Buccaneers didn't do themselves any favors. And then you got the Rams and the Seahawks, battling things out for the NFC and NFC West. So, yeah. But I do think that the Rams are relatively dangerous. And then you got the commies. Let's go. Raise the W or whatever. But the Commanders, Jayden Daniels is indeed him. Like he's writing a storybook rookie season, 5 touchdowns in the huge comeback win. Saquon went off, $150 and 2 touchdowns. But the Eagles couldn't get it done. And yeah, Jalen Hurts did leave early with a concussion. I'm surprised they didn't just clear him because it's the Eagles. Yeah. But the Commanders, gritty, gutty, got it done. 22 points in the final stanza, and yeah, the cardiac Commanders, they do it again. Also, certainly helps the Vikings. If and when the Vikings win out, now they don't have to worry about tiebreakers with the Eagles for the 1 seed. Then you got the Cardinals and the Panthers. The Panthers have been playing some frisky ball lately, man. And Adam, Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen, love that he's getting it done in the sun down there with Bryce Young. All that rhymes. And for the last couple weeks, like, even though the Panthers have lost a couple games, like, they've been in every single game. They're fighting with the Cowboys, fighting with the Chiefs and whatnot. Should have beat the Eagles as well if Xavier Leggett catches that one. But Arizona, that's disappointing. It really is. And my Cardinals all season I've been riding with them, but Kyler was ass. Thank you. This game, The tight end Trey McBride was non-existent, so this is kind of rough all the way around. But Arizona eliminates himself, and I'm not ready to say that Carolina is going to be something next year. They still need a lot of work, but Bryce Young is playing some great ball. Dave Canlis getting through to him. Apparently, the benching was one of the best things that ever happened to him. Plus, Thielen's looking good, isn't he? Come on, man. And I feel like it's a win-win spot all the way around where Thielen wanted a bag. He wanted wide receiver 1 targets. He went to the Panthers, not a great team. And with the Vikings, Addison was ready to take over. All right, so that's what went down. Then you got the Vikings Seahawks, talked about ad nauseum. But, that throw from Darnold to Jefferson, where Darnold under duress, running up on the line of scrimmage, Jefferson splitting that double team. I keep watching that play. It's probably the best Vikings pitch and catch I've seen since the Miracle. And I know that J.J. McCarthy's waiting in the wings, and I know that everyone's waiting for Sam Darnold to turn to a pumpkin. Well, if you look at the body of work, how does his Jets and Panthers years, what does that have to do with him right now with the Vikings? Right? And guess what? If you sign him to a long-term deal, he's not going to be with the Jets and the Panthers. He's going to be with the Vikings, but we'll see. But Slinging Sam Darnold is playing above the rim right now, playing like a top 5 quarterback. Justin freaking Jefferson proved that he's him again. And the Vikings on the road, hostile environment, tough opponent. They just find a way to win. All right. 5 more wins, you win the Super Bowl. That's it. And then you got the Patriots and the Bills. I don't buy for a second Josh Allen's explanation after the game. Well, we're just trying not to show a lot until we get into the playoffs. Baloney. You had a tough divisional game, and the Patriots, this was their Super Bowl, right? And you got down 14-0. You came back. Congratulations. Josh Allen was ass, thank you, throughout most of the day. Drake May looked kind of good. And the Bills are lucky that they had James Cook, and the Patriots screwed up on that backward pass, because otherwise you lose. And Josh Allen looked like a freaking MVP against the Rams and the Lions. Congratulations, but stop lying. Stop lying. We're trying not to show anything. Baloney. And then the most nondescript game of the afternoon, Jaguars and Raiders. There's like 5 people at Allegiant Stadium to see this wreck. But I don't know, like Brian Thomas Jr., that's really the only thing I take away from my fantasy team. But 9 for $132 and a touchdown. I know that Malik Neighbors gets all the hype. BTJ, his former teammate at LSU, I mean, he's doing the damn thing as well. Even with shoddy quarterback play. But the Raiders get a win. Aiden O'Connell, getting things done. Amir Abdullah as well as Alexander Madison had touchdowns, which is great. It's a great day to be a former Viking. Woo, love it, man. Also, did you see Cordarrelle's catch for the Steelers in the Saturday night game? That was great. Also great is that's the opposite of Brock Purdy. The Niners eliminated. They're 6-9. They're not feeling fine. Brock Purdy's ass. Thank you. And also, they're going to pay Brock Purdy $60 million a year. Riri. But the Dolphins, yes, things started out slow in this game. It's kind of whatever. But Dolphins ultimately got it done. Achane did the damn thing. A $120 and a touchdown. Also, some great receiving yardage as well. And Miami, they stay in the thick of things. But hey, Calais Campbell, come on down. You're the next Minnesota Viking. We need you, man. We need you. So, frankly, I think the Dolphins should just let him go right now because they're probably not going to make the playoffs. I don't believe in Mike McDaniel. Although, is he doing just enough to save his job, which would hurt the team even more? Who knows? And then lastly, the Buccaneers had everything in their sights. They could have firmly established themselves in the NFC South race, but they just gave away to the Cowboys and Cooper Rush. CeeDee Lamb was ridiculous, as always. 7 for $105, but, I mean, Dallas, this was a snoozer. This was, and so I had it on, and while I was doing some video stuff, I'm just like, why am I watching this? Why don't I just put on a movie where it's just like, even though this game is mid, we would murder people for this game in like June. So I guess enjoy it. Yeah, but the Buccaneers, I mean, they're either the best bad team or the worst good team. I don't know. And the Cowboys are still technically alive in the NFC, right? No, the Cowboys are eliminated. I lied. I lied about things. You could have said that they're eliminated week 5. It's basically what happened, but it's kind of funny, like how many teams are just out. Like this is a bad year to be an ass team. Look how many freaking teams in the AFC have 3 wins. 5 teams have 3 wins, and then you got the Giants, and then you got a fistful of teams with only 4 wins. Like this is very much a polarizing have and have not season. Like I can't remember a year where the playoff pictures have been so defined. Like they were pretty well defined like 3 weeks ago, but it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Anyways, tonight is a gnat of gnats. Saints. One time. Like it doesn't really affect the Vikings at all. I would just love if the Packers got poop for Christmas. So I hate to root for the Saints. I despise it. But just take it to the Packers one time. That's it. Anyways, that's it. Week 16 recap. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.